Hey Bassing Bob members, Joe Graffman here. We're here with the first annual weekly Wednesday fishing tip. I'm going to start doing these every Wednesday, get you guys a lot of information out there and more to come. Today I'm going to be talking about two different things. One, how to keep your tackle organized, and the other is deep cranking. Lake of the Ozarks is a phenomenal lake. It has a lot of deep points, a lot of deep structure, but when they're running water, it is lights out. And it is lights out on those offshore places. A big crankbait is one of the best ways to catch those fish that are out there. What I like to throw, guys, I like to throw a Livingston Deep Impact 18, which dives true to 18 feet, depending on your line size and depending on your rod. I like to throw it on a 711 Lew's Custom Speed Stick cranking rod. And I also like to pair it up with a Lew's Speed Spool BB1. This is a 5:1-to-1 gear ratio. It's a little bit of a slower gear ratio, which I personally like. And the reason for that is because when you make those long casts, you don't want to be over cranking that bait to where it'll come back to the boat too fast. You want to make those long casts, get it out there, and that Lew's reel will do that. You want to have the slower gear ratio because when you make that long cast, you want to crank it pretty slow down there on the bottom. When I throw it out there, I'll make a cast and then I'll burn it real quick to the bottom, get it down there, and then I'll just slow roll it along the bottom, and it'll hit off those big rocks and big logs and all that good stuff that's down there on some of that offshore structure. The line size that I like to throw my big Livingston crankbait on is 10 or 12 pound Seaguar Red Label fluorocarbon. And the reason for that smaller line is because it has a lot smaller diameter, which is less weight in the water, and it allows your bait to get down there to the bottom a lot quicker, and it allows it to stay down there when you make those long casts. So I throw that crankbait out there, I'll get it to where I want it to, right on that structure, and then I'll just burn it down real quick to where it's on the bottom, and once I know it's on the bottom, I'll just steady crank it. And that 5:1-to-1 really allows me to stay down there on the good stuff. And if you had a quicker gear ratio, you could reel it fast and not get it on the stuff and be able to stay down there, and you could miss a few fish. Or with this slower gear ratio, it might put a few more fish in the boat. You might be able to catch a few more next time you go out fishing. The Livingston Deep Impact 18 is an awesome offshore crankbait. But the very unique thing about it is it has electronic bait fish sounds. That's EBS technology. And basically what that means is whenever it comes in contact with the water, it's going to start stimulating the sound of an injured bait fish throughout the water column, which will attract more fish to your lure and help you catch a few more big bass. The color I like to throw when I'm offshore cranking, there's a lot of colors out there, but I like to keep it simple, because if I get too many colors in my tackle box and too many different options, I'll kind of get mentally spun out. So I like to throw a shad color when I'm fishing the clear water. This is blue shad. When I'm fishing dirtier water or stained water, I'll throw something like a citrus shad or a chartreuse and blueback. But those are the colors I'd like to throw. Like I said, I keep it pretty simple, and hopefully that's going to help you catch a few more fish next time you go out on the water. As a lot of you fishermen know, when you're fishing, time is money. So I like to use something that can organize my stuff to where I know exactly where it is, and it'll save me time when I go to look for it. I don't have to dig through a bunch of stuff to find it. This here is how I store my hooks and my weights. This is a Plano hook and weights box. It has dividers in it, so you know it says 3/16, 1/8 ounce, and 5/8 ounce weights. It has 1/0, 2/0, all the way up to 6/0 hook storage. And it has trailer hook storage, Carolina rig weight storage. So you can put your baits in here and all your hooks and your weights, and you know exactly where everything is. You don't have to spend time digging through stuff and looking for something. And the nice thing too, it's waterproof. So it has 4 Plano series latches right on the side here. So that's going to keep water out, and it's going to keep your stuff dry. So if you're looking for a good new tackle box, you better check out the Plano hook and weight storage system. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything you would like answered in the next following video, you can just simply email me. I'll leave my email at the end of the video. Stay tuned at bassingbob.com for more awesome videos. Thanks, guys.